When I watch back some of my favourite shows like Twin Peaks and Dead Like Me, I often feel sad to think of how they were cancelled way before their time and had so much more they could have offered the world. And then I look at the fact that British daily life-based soap opera Coronation Street has been running since 1960 and has had over 8,000 episodes, and I get so jealous that I start having convulsions and feel like smashing something to fucking pieces. Yeah, it's going to be one of those videos. When looking at the overwhelming popularity of So Bad It's Funny real-world drama movie The Room, I'm surprised that Coronation Street doesn't have a similar reputation, as it's basically The Room the TV series. Actually, that's probably giving it way too much credit, as that would imply that it was at least interesting. Then again, I do remember that one week they did a storyline about car bombs and ritual suicide, but that might have just been me zoning out and daydreaming that I was watching something that's actually good. I've been meaning to make a video defining conventional British soap opera formula for a while now, because the strange thing about it is while Coronation Street is incredibly plot-driven, the actual plots themselves don't matter whatsoever. Same with most British soaps, they always go in circles, repeating the same storylines everywhere. Someone is always cheating on somebody, there's emotional blackmail over something, family arguments about something else, redundancy, death, alcoholism, the occasional drug addiction, with all but the most oblique references carefully absent because it's pre-Watershed. Soaps like this are allowed to basically do the same script with a find and replace done on the names because 1, they have a shit ton of content to put together, 8,000 episodes, staying fresh in this medium is virtually impossible, and 2, while soaps are a national conversation piece and the subject of their own magazines, they act more like a person for people to gossip about who's not going to judge you for it than an actual television show. But in spite of the viewing figures that stuff like Corrie gets, it's very rare that you'll come across someone who has a complete encyclopedic knowledge of everything that's happened on it. Corrie does put out around 3 hours worth of content a week. It's on twice a night some nights, and while some people do watch soaps all year round, that is by and large far too much content for anyone to always be fully up on all of the time. People do have lives to lead as well, and also by and large, lots of their viewer base won't actually watch every single episode. Soaps are primarily made for your average person to just sort of dip in and out of whenever they feel like it. Lots of people do go through phases with them, so if a soap happens to be doing something that's very similar to something that it did a little while ago, don't worry, everyone's probably forgotten about it. No one's exactly going to start calling you stale over being repetitive in this format. Pretty much no one will give the slightest fuck if you're just lazily rehashing the same old storylines about the same old social and societal problems over and over again. To have something be so utterly plot-driven and yet at the same time its plots are completely null and void is an astonishing achievement in the field of drama. It's almost but not quite art house. Maybe it's trying to make some kind of deep statement about the human experience. You think that something that's playing out in your life means something, but it doesn't. Everything that happens to you, it happens to everyone. If it teaches us anything, Corrie teaches us that life is inherently cyclical. Yes, that's definitely me projecting onto this because I do want to see something good in Corrie. The reason that I want to be encouraging when it comes to mundane but constant TV fixments like this is mostly because a lot of the people that work on them are young and new to broadcasting. Shows like Corrie are the ideal way to train new people in writing and production, because they need to make so much content each week. They've got a very high demand and a high turnover of staff, and it essentially asks your newcomer, can you make a TV programme to a brief? And if they fuck up, it doesn't exactly matter, it's not going to get cancelled at any point and people are still going to watch it. That's what a lot of us who bitch about them forget. Things like soaps, reality TV and magazine shows do have an audience and are a great way to ease newer people into the industry and advance their skill sets. That's why I think that they are important. They can and do serve a noble purpose. Oh, but Christ, when watching this on my end, as a guy who's passionate about screenwriting, if you're a formula spotter, Corrie is a fucking goldmine. Because people just dip in and out of it and miss plot developments, what Corrie have realised they have to do is crowbar in some of the most utterly stunted expository dialogue you will ever see. It takes absolutely no time at all to get up to speed. Dave, I can't believe you agreed to give her part ownership of this pub that we run together. Well, she is my mother. Yes, and my name's Michelle. And we've been having marital problems, and I have a secret love child that's going to show up next week and spout exposition. Yes, she is.
But David wouldn't bring drugs into the house, not with the kids here.
This is the thing that's happening this week.
You know, Ryan's gone. I've left the factory. I'm back to pulling pints. You know, my life just isn't how I saw it panning out.
Here is the fact sheet about my character. Do you like it?
You gotta believe me. Right, maybe you just remember it wrong because of the bump on your head, but I swear, it was an accident.
Event A and character B have caused this week's storyline C, and thus will progress over the course of the week to resolution D, with help from E plus F times G squared.
Well, it's really kind of you to keep me company while I'm having a ciggy, Mary.
Oh, Amy, stop it.
Amy, what's going on? You all right?
Look, just leave her.
Well, let me just...
Carla, I said leave her.
Yeah, another thing I've noticed is they've got around a problem that always haunts me with stuff like Doctor Who. You know the one where I forget characters' names all the bloody time. In Corrie, what they've done is everyone almost always says each other's names at the end of every line of dialogue when they're talking to each other. Don't they, Liz?
Yes, we do, Stuart.
Just so that we know who this person having an argument over something trivial is if the viewers just picked the show up again and forgotten their name. Have you always been doing that, Liz? Your name's Liz, isn't it, Liz?
Yes, it is, Stuart. I'm Liz.
And yet somehow, even though they crowbar characters' names into the dialogue all the time, I still always forget everyone's names. Like, how the fuck do you have a fictional piece where neither plot nor character actually matter to the narrative? Like, that should be fucking impossible. What else in this show is fake? I swear if you visit the set, that's not a real staircase. It's made out of cardboard and rubber bands. Are these actors even real? Are they holograms? When the cameras are off, does Roy Cropper's face come away to reveal that he's actually an Auton? Coronation Street is literally running on artifice and nothing else. How the fuck does that happen?